Loads of comments coming in. A great result, badly needed, largely due to chasing every ball, pressing and wanting to win tackles. In other words, what they paid huge amounts to do already. Well done, Moyes, for sticking a rocket up them, says Mark. Matty Denners, I'm going Moyes has the same effect that Pearson is currently having at Watford, but still early days. But it was nice to see the hunger and the effort. Where has that been? Lots of similar messages. So when a new manager comes into a club, and you've all been at clubs where you've had a new manager arrive, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. What is the thing that you want to see as a professional footballer from the man that's about to walk in the door? Apart from a new contract.
I think predominantly I've had several managers over the years. If you're not playing, we'll just be discussing this off air. If you're not playing and that manager doesn't like you in any way, it's hard not to say you're not delighted that he goes. So you have that effect straight away. Then you want to be put in the team. You want to show what you can do personally and collectively as a group. Can he win that group over? Can he convince? So
how do you win that group? What's the thing
he's got to come and he's got to know what he's doing. You've got to buy into what he does to fit those personnel that are already in the club. And it's about results, and that's all you can do really to change the effect. Like David Moyes has gone in, he's got that result straight away, so he'll have got a little bit of confidence from the players.
I think as a player you want clarity, tactically. And for him to come in and to put his ideas on the table on a training pitch, and for the players to be able to look at it and go, actually, yeah, I can see what you're trying to do. You know, you've got an idea of what you're doing. You're translating that to us, and it's going in very simply, and we can take in that information and feel comfortable with that, which breeds confidence.
Do you remember the first thing David Moyes did when he came to United? How he sort of introduced himself to the group or anything?
He came in and. He just said, "This is where I'm going to do it." He called a meeting and said, "This is the way I'm going to do it." Obviously, a few things would be changing because I'm a new person, and this is going to be my way, and this is how I'm going to do it. And it's different because he's got into a regime there. Pellegrini's only been there a couple of years, whereas Fergie was there for like 27 or 28 years. So
did you find was that hard to take on board though? Because Fergie, you've won everything, and it's towards the end, and you've got another manager coming in and saying, "Well, why are you going to do it that way? This is how we do it with Fergie."
Yeah, I think you don't mind change. It's just how much change there's going to be. In a situation that I was in at Manchester United, we'd just won the league that year, albeit some people might say with a squad that wasn't as good as previous ones, but still won it by 12 or 13 points, wherever it was. So was there that much to change? And that's the mentality of the players that are there. And he's got to give us the belief that yes, it is the right way to change because this is how I'm going to do it. And you've got to believe in what I'm doing. And then the results follow after that. And then you can believe in it. But unfortunately, the results didn't really follow the right pattern that I'm sure we would have liked, and also David Moyes did. But I think going into this situation is totally different.
Yeah.
Things aren't working. There was a bit of unrest behind the scene with the players. They would have been hoping for this and welcomed it with both arms, definitely wide open, saying thank you, come in, a bit of clarity. We know we've got to work hard, put us in a good shape, give us the right foundations to then go and get some results.
Have you been in a position where a new manager's come in and you've thought pretty quickly, what is this about? You feel free to name names.
Yes, first, and then we'll ask him.
It's so difficult. No, I remember at Leeds United, Neil Warnock came in, and I knew he was going to come in the day before and etc. And it was Neil Redfern actually who was the caretaker manager, and he probably didn't know at what extent was going to happen, where his job was going to go. So he took the first half, and we were 2-0 down. So Neil walks in. At that point, he had nothing to lose from the guy who sat in the stand. Yeah. He made a few changes and won 3-2. So straight away, he's won the dressing room over, and then he's out to let everybody know that he came down at half-time, he sorted a few things out and got that win. So you need a bit of luck as a manager to get yourself going and to get a winning start. And there's lots of stories along the way. I remember at Spurs, Jack Santini. He wasn't liked by a lot of the players. You would expect him to have done very, very well. Martin Yore was there as assistant, and it didn't work out. And a lot of people were happy for Jack Santini to leave. So
why do you think it didn't work out?
I don't think he wanted to embrace the football club. They wanted somebody who would be a focal point, who would go and address the media, address the supporters. And he didn't maybe get his staff that he wanted with Daniel Levy. So he didn't really enjoy it. He was going to sit on his own. It was a very, very strange scenario. And after 30 days in a row from the players to set off the tone, that didn't really help in pre-season. And it turned out very bad in the end.
And what were you like in a situation when a new manager comes in? Were you quiet? And were you quite standoffish and you just waiting to assess him? Were you in there knocking on the door, just reminding him of your attributes and what a great tackler you are?
Well, something like that. I think you noticed, don't you, the first training session, I mean, that's the one you want to set the tempo, go straight up. What's he going to put on? What type of tactics is he going to give you? What the session's like? Who's his coaching staff? What type of character he is? And in that first meeting, you can be put off by where you're saying, I'm going to do it this way. And if you've got strong characters, and I suppose at Manchester United, for instance, so he comes in and says, I'm going to do it this way. Well, we're at Manchester United, and no disrespect, you've been at Everton, we've won the titles. And it's a difficult transition when you've got strong characters.
Yeah. That's what he would be fighting about. I think they would be fighting with that exact point as well. Use at Everton, and what have you won? There's players here that have won multiple titles and trophies. And it's not right, because you're meant to believe in what the manager's coming with, but it's just human nature that you do question everything. Where that's what happens. You get in a dressing room, every player's got a question. Every player's asking why, who, where, but. Loads of buts. So it's difficult.
But if you
for a
come in
manager
having
to come
won
in.
5 Champions Leagues and 2 Premier Leagues, there's probably less buts and whys and things, right?
And also if you come in and you show that authority straight away, and again with clarity. I think you look at Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. The difference is black and white and night and day in the way that they performed against Manchester United yesterday. The intensity, the desire, the hunger in that performance, the way they got around people, hustled. That hasn't been there for months, for years maybe at Arsenal. To see that just straight away, that's.
Do you think Mikel Arteta's going to get a start though because of Pep Guardiola?
That's what I mean.
So if he'd been somewhere else and he hadn't had the master teaching him, so straight away I think he's got that. Or as soon as he walks in the dressing room, show us.
You think some of the lads are actually
thinking,
thinking, hold on, he's been with Pep for the last few years. Let's
100%.
give him. You really?
100%, yeah.
You gain automatic respect, don't you? I mean, but it's the same in any industry, surely. It's the same in any industry.
Well, that is
the worrying thing that as I'm listening to a little bit of, I'm thinking, is that given the perception that the players, because all of a sudden you can, one change of manager and all of a sudden you see West Ham win 4-0. Yeah. Change of manager, all of a sudden you see Watford flying up the table. It actually looks bad on the players, doesn't it? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones going out, and it's like as if you didn't like the last manager, you didn't try type of attitude. But I don't think it's necessarily like that. It is human nature. A new face comes through the door. All of a sudden, everyone wants to impress. You get an initial bounce. Look at the Premier League this year. Virtually every manager that's changed, there's been an upturn in results straight away. Now, whether that continues is obviously debatable, but I guess it happens in any walk of life. A new manager comes in any job.
I think football fans are guilty of treating football like nothing else on the planet, right?
Yeah.
So with this Mikel Arteta performance, Twitter was alive with people going, where have these players been? Where's Mesut Ozil been? This is a disgrace. They shouldn't be allowed. They're paid to play. Anyone, if you don't like your boss, you don't give it all at work, do you?
Not just about not liking. If you don't believe in what they're putting out, what their tactics, in what their philosophy, if you don't believe in it, the edge comes off the performance straight away.
Because just like everyone else in this world.
That
just happens to be the job, but they're no different to anyone watching
it's
this.
Not
regardless
effort.
of the
We know
job.
a lot of people say they're not giving the effort. I don't think it's effort. I thought the change rooms that I've been in, it wouldn't be about effort. Every player wants to win day in, day in training. Come Saturday as well in the matches when the whistle goes. It's just if they don't believe in the philosophy that the manager's putting over, the tactical what they're putting over, then that edge on a Saturday is.
But it's still your job to give everything.
Well, you do give everything.
But you give
That's
everything.
the point. But again, you've just hit the nail on the head, Jake. We weren't footballers weren't born on Mars. I mean, just normal people that get inspired by certain people, or if your boss doesn't give you a promotion, let's say, when you think you'd been.
I've never experienced that.
No, it's gonna disappoint you. If you're playing well and the boss doesn't play you, it's going to disappoint. All these things, the manager's got to manage all these people. Players are ambitious. There can be problems because he's on more than him and all. It's just like in any walk of life. Footballers are just normal people, and you get the same problems in a football club as you do in any.
I think the thing that's changed it though is the pressure of winning. So the manager that comes in now is serious every day. He's giving you so much details, giving you so much analysis. And you have to go and enjoy your sport. You go and enjoy your job that you're doing. So they go in every day and it becomes a little bit repetitive. And that's sometimes that change. And I looked at Mikel Arteta with the players at the end of the game. He was going to give them a hug. They seemed to be smiling. Yeah. And some managers now are frightened to have that friendly, laugh environment in that team spirit. It's all very, very serious every day. And it's a long season with the pros. I know everyone's getting paid, but they've got to bring back that enjoyment a little bit.